Hello, everyone. This is me again, Rosana Penilla Barucha, your host for the Absolutely Fabulous Woman. And we are talking about our own story. And we are going to be sharing another story for this new episode. So I have a wonderful guest, and her name is Tamiah. But before I present her to you, I just would like to let you know that why we do storytelling or sharing our stories. It is because with the present situation now, it's important that we still find some people who feel the same way as we do or differently, but we know that we were able to connect, we're able to um, find inspiration, or we could share hope, right? So this is the situation right now where most of us are stuck at home, and now we would like to also hear some stories from our women in the community. So let me introduce to you my new friend Tamiah, and Tamiah is an empowerment coach. So we brought her to you because we know that she's something that can talk about empowerment. So not only that she's an empowerment coach, she also holds a she's a workshop wizard and Reiki practitioner. She is the co-founder of Root to Rise Empowerment with Sue Sadana and Kaylee McClellan. So, Tamaya, please say hello to our friends.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. This has been the chat already has been so great.
Amazing. Yes. So initially, we would like to always have some sort of like a warm-up talk with the guest. And you shared one beautiful, beautiful uh, item in the story, which I really would like to share with our guests. So our followers. So Tamaya, we were talking about curly hair.
Oh,
I really
yes.
love that. So you know what? Because this is how we were. Like me growing up, I had curlier hair than before, right? So I was almost the same thing like what you said. But I would like you to tell that story. What did you do with your hair?
Sure. So yeah, that was kind of the thing. You had complimented my hair and I said, "Well, thank you," but I didn't always embrace my curls. So in high school, everybody had straight hair and I wanted to be like everybody, all the pretty girls. So I used to like dry my hair straight, flat iron it, or just tie it back and hide my curls so that I would, have straight hair or look like I had straight hair like the other girls. And I was saying that it wasn't until somewhere in my 30s that I fully embraced my curls again. I'm just like, why am I like, whatever, my curls are awesome. I love and I get so many compliments on my curls now. And I thought for how many years I hid it, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the story.
And
But
little did you know that a lot of people pay a lot of money to have that kind of hair, right? That type of hair. And
yeah,
I honestly tell you, also for me before, I like to do a lot of things in my hair in my 20s, 30s.
yeah.
But now, yeah, just let it go like that. And besides, right now, I can't even go to the salon.
I know, right? That's where it is an extra bonus to have curly hair because in a pinch, you can literally grab your hair and just go, all right, and you can just cut it. And nobody's going to notice that if it's a bad cut or not because it's curly and it's not even anyways.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah. Well, actually, I've been doing my own hairdressing. So
I
just
love it.
ponytail it and just take the scissors and boom.
Yeah.
Don't know. So it actually grows. Like I'm okay with it. And just because it's a little wavy. I
Yeah.
want to ask you a very good question.
Okay.
Okay. I know it's a very good question. You said here, your mission is to empower 1 million humans using her unique, energetic, and fun approach to move towards fulfilling their true life purpose.
Hmm.
What is the inspiration behind this?
Well, so for this, I think it's a way of it's weird. So I have a very you could call it like I don't want to even call it, but like a type A, but not a type A personality. But I like to set goals, I like to measure goals, I like whatever. So in recent times, months, I'm like, okay, I need to learn how to kind of let go and let things flow and do whatever. But I know I've always wanted to make a difference in people's lives. I want to help people. I've been on such a journey of different careers and businesses and whatever. And I feel like in what I'm doing now, I'm finally doing something that is truly authentic to me and meaningful. And what that means is actually helping people, empowering them, inspiring them, getting people to find themselves again and to reach their fullest potential. So, another kind of way of doing that was I thought, well, why don't I put a measurement on it? Like, why don't I put a goal if I'm going to empower or touch lives or help 1 million people. And there's another little neat part of it too, because one of my other goals is to have $1 million in the bank, like at all times, right? So I have a dollar amount. So for every person whose life I touch or help, whatever, who is on my list. I have my book over there, which is where I track the people. I put $1 into my one bank account so that when I achieve my goal of helping people, inspiring them, I will have $1 million in the bank as well. So it'll be a win-win.
That's amazing. I'm a very goal-oriented person as well. I put goals in everything that I do, and that's why I use a lot of notebooks and
Yes.
per client. That's what I do. But honestly, it's always good to have goals.
Yes.
It kind of like motivates you
Mm-hmm.
to dress up, get up, and do
Yeah.
something, right? And that's what I've been working on in these so many years that I'm in business.
Mm-hmm.
And I I just have to see something. And
Yeah.
if I achieve it, then it's a celebration,
Yes.
right? I
Yeah.
wish you all the best. And that 1 million, the more you say it, the more it happens.
Yeah. I looked the
Right?
other day and I was like, oh, I'm already up to this amount of people. And I just started doing it. Like I just kind of implemented that. And I was like, wow, it's amazing. And I wasn't sure how to count it. Like I was like, well, what counts as empowering? And I'm like, anybody who comes to anything that, like any events that
Right.
I host or any workshops, like
Yeah.
any person that I have like a really neat connection with, like people I give Reiki to, anything,
Right.
right? I mean, when you're touching
Yeah.
lives, you're helping people, of course it,
Hmm.
you never know what that does and that ripple, right? You could change someone's life by just doing one simple act one day, you know? So yeah.
I have to unmute myself a little bit for a second to just warn some people around the house. Okay, everyone, we don't edit this show. Number one. And number two, what background you hear is included in the entertainment of today.
I love it. I love
So we
my
are the
kids.
women of today. So, we do things differently, right? So,
For
we
sure.
are not a proper studio, but what we want to do is just to make sure that, we're able to share our story for inspiration, for hope, for friendship, and most of all for encouragement so that
Yeah,
we can have a better community. I
for
have
sure.
another question for you.
Yeah.
So you talk about your mission, you talk about how you're gonna do it. Oh, somebody is making noise. So I'll just have to just 1 second. Sorry everyone. Charlene, I'm on a show.
I
Can
feel
you
you.
stop it for now? Okay, that's my daughter, everyone. Okay, anyhow, so as I said, no editing, it happens, right? So we're very natural here. This is life. We don't
Yes.
bring anything here that didn't happen, but we can bring here something that we can do in the future. All
Yes.
right, let's move on to the next question. So I know that you have mentioned here, if you would like to live like someone who inspires you for a day, and you said Tony Robbins or Gandhi or a tree. Okay, with the three choices here, can you please explain why Tony Robbins?
Yes. So, um, especially with Tony Robbins, because I think I have always said and thought, to be someone like Tony Robbins and to be on stage and to be touching the amount of lives that he touches and to be helping the amount of people, even in his books, in his anything that you look up, any little videos he's done on YouTube, any of that, he's been a pretty solid figure over the years. And so I would love to just live in that just to see, because I also most recently came to the conclusion that I don't think I would want to live that life because there was one time I was at one of his live events and he mentioned the amount of days that he is traveling and away from his family. And it was insane. Like, I don't even know. I can't remember what the number was out of the days of the year, but I feel like it was something, out of 365 days, I feel like it was high 200s or low 300s. And I thought, that's insane. I don't want that. But I would like to have the one day. I would love to step out onto the stage and to share my message with people and to know that, like, just for speaking my truth and just for sharing my perspective, my experiences, my love for people and for humans entirely, just to feel what that energy would be, right? Like, can you imagine just the exchange of and that gift that you're giving people? So, yeah, that's what's behind
Yeah,
the
I know that is that's very empowering. Yeah, just like I watch a lot of Tony Robbins, by the way,
oh, neat.
and of course I've watched Gandhi. Now
Yeah.
I want to ask you, why three?
Why three?
Yeah, you said Tony Robbins, Gandhi, or at three.
Oh, why a tree? Yes.
Yeah,
Because think about, okay, so this is like almost the direct opposite, right? Like these are the polar opposites. So to exist and be a living being on our planet as a tree. So you're absolutely stuck in one spot. You have no control over where you move, where you live, who you interact with, how you grow, when
yeah,
any of that. You have no control, but you are still a living being and you are still on this planet, but you are in one spot and you have to adapt to your environment and you have
right.
to see and live there.
Yeah, and I have a very different interpretation of a tree.
Ooh.
Yes, I am a lover of tree, and probably if you go visit my timeline, and you'll see a lot of pictures of trees. I do connect with trees.
Mm-hmm.
I see life in trees.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm watching the tree, even like I'm looking outside, right? You
Mm-hmm.
see sometimes I say how strong they are. They may
Mm-hmm.
not be moving, but
Mm-hmm.
they fight. They survive. They survive the strong winds, the
Yeah.
wintry snow, the hot sun,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes we cut them, and they still grow.
Yep.
And I find life in it. Not
Yes.
only that, but I see the changing of colors that
Mm.
actually I talk to the trees when they show me different colors. Like
Mm-hmm.
right now, spring, you see them, with new leaves and then they bloom. That's life.
Yeah.
That's how I interpret life. They may
Mm-hmm.
not be moving. That's why we said you're not a tree. That
No.
means, yeah, that means move on. But if you take in what really a tree is,
Mm-hmm.
you will see different colors of life in there, different struggles and challenges that the tree goes through. So they're not exempted. They are just like our own
Yeah.
life that we go through. So that's the way I interpret it, because I'm a very nature lover, and I love looking at waters. I
Yeah.
love looking at the rocks and the trees.
Yeah.
And just think of that. Say when you have a moment, you sit down, by the window and look at the trees, especially
Oh, yeah.
winter time.
It's
But they
funny.
come out beautiful. It's so cold outside. The snow is blowing, the tree is blowing, left and
Yeah.
right. But then once the snow sits on them, they have a different look.
Oh,
They're
entirely.
glamorized. They're beautiful.
Yeah, what's funny? Even this morning, I have to show you. So I practice yoga every morning, and I looked out into my backyard, and it literally, so I'm going to show you this picture because this is the view in my backyard and the trees, and they're very, very tall, but like you said, they're so strong and they're so deeply rooted. But I looked out back and just all these leaves are coming out, and it reminded me of my childhood up north. So, and these are the tree, can you see that?
Ah,
Yeah.
pretty.
So it's funny that this is our conversation because this was literally, well, whatever, 4 hours ago that I was looking
Wow.
and I was just observing. And I'm like, I literally got up, I stopped yoga, and I'm like, I have to just go and capture this moment. Like the way the sun was coming through, I actually put it on my timeline. So, which is funny, you'll
Hmm.
laugh. But I put it on my timeline this morning and I was like, you know what? This just reminded me of my childhood years. It's something about the way the sun's coming through the trees, and it just, oh, so, and they are these gigantic trees. They're huge. But so
Isn't
yeah,
that an inspiration?
I love it. And
Yes,
hug
it's an,
trees. You always have to hug trees.
yeah,
Like,
I do. You'll see me
oh,
some of my posts, I'm hugging them.
oh
Every
my
time
goodness.
when I walk into a park or somewhere, where it's kind of like forested or something like that, I really enjoy the first tree I see. And,
Yes.
I just don't know, but I find some really very beautiful, but to some
Yeah.
eyes, maybe not. I would go there and I start hugging. I hugged a tree every almost weekend,
Oh, that's
one
so,
or two. Yeah,
and it's funny how there are certain trees that just draw, like pull you in. I
yeah,
remember there was a tree in Hawaii, of course, this comes in. But they have banyan trees there. So you know what they are, right?
yeah.
Um, so there was one, we were hiking on one of the like national parks, and it was so big. I'm used to hugging trees and I can like put my arm almost around this tree. So I'm hugging it. My arms are widespread. I'm not even halfway around the tree. Like it was that big. And I'm like, there's just some trees that draw you and you're like, oh, I just need to hug you. My kids are like, Mom, you're such a hippie. And I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
well, I will continue to be.
Yeah, it gives you some sort of a relief. Like when I go there, my work is sometimes takes a lot of my energy, brain energy especially. And so what I would do is I go outside and just appreciate nature, and
Yes.
I have to touch a tree.
Yeah. Isn't
I
that
have to
neat?
touch a tree. Now you mentioned about childhood. Can you please tell me any fondest memories of your childhood?
Um, yeah, I thought about this and I was like, I had a really fun childhood. Like, so I think, I don't know, there were so many memories, but I really loved, we used to go camping, to Sauble Beach.
I
And
know, I've been there.
oh, and when we were kids, we had this little, well, we used to have a tent and then we leveled up and got one of those pop-up trailers that were like the Bon Air.
Right.
Either way. So yeah, we used to go to Sauble Beach and literally just go to the beach, play in the waves. We were kids, right? My brother and I, we would, who knows what, we just played, right? And we would cook our dinner on the campfire. We would do all that. So I think camping, those memories were always good. And just doing little road trips. Like we would go back up north to visit our friends. We would go and visit people who were like halfway between. We would travel, yeah, just
Yeah.
across
That's
continental.
wonderful. That's wonderful. Especially during this time, right? So we're so limited in where to go and what to do.
Yeah.
So, sometimes we need to look at some pictures only for now.
Go for a drive, stay in your car.
And as you said, if you will be given a chance to travel again and where you are going,
Yes. Oh, back to Hawaii for
correct.
sure. Yeah. Hawaii, I have a trip that we had booked to Cuba.
Mm,
So we were literally supposed to travel. I think it was like before they actually, it was in March, either way, of 2020. I think it was like the 19th or something. So we were up until the week before waiting, like, are they closing borders, are they not, are they, and it was all this weird, once you get to Cuba you will be quarantined, and we're just like, okay, this is weird. So we
yeah.
have a travel voucher, so we have a paid trip waiting to go to Cuba, but which will go on. I've been a couple times before, but yeah, where I will truly make sure I get back to is Hawaii. And I do want to see places like Fiji and Bali. I want to kind of go
Oh,
through that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Pretty,
little bit.
pretty, pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, well, you know what? Everyone deserves a break after this COVID.
yeah.
Well, for some other people, their life hasn't changed probably because they have a resort style home. Yeah,
Right?
maybe. But then, for those people who need to go out and find that place, yes, it's going to be a real good time if we can go back to,
Yeah.
traveling again, visiting places, and most of all, spending time with our loved ones.
Yes. Where would you go?
Me, I'm booked to go to the Philippines.
Yes. I
Yeah,
love it.
I'm
That's awesome.
going. I'm really going. I've been postponing for 2 years now, right from last year to
Wow.
this year, and I can't wait any longer. Every
Good
day
for
I'm
you.
I'm writing, please Lord, let this COVID be gone. you know.
When are you
I,
going?
um.
When are you going?
Well, if you see right now, I do not have that time to really spend, for quarantining myself when I get
Yeah.
there. It's a 1 week quarantine, right?
Okay.
And 1 week is a lot for me. I can work while being quarantined, but
Yeah.
then the next week I go to see my family. There's another week, and then I have to go back, and then I quarantine again. Never mind. I did
Yeah.
not go for vacation to be staying in quarantine hotel, quarantining in hotels.
Oy. Which is
I
like
don't want to do
big
that because that's gonna be
struggle.
more expensive, right? I mean, like I want to go home straight to my house
Which you
and
can.
then be with my mother and my
Yeah.
siblings, and then enjoy life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because if I went to the Philippines and I quarantine for 1 week,
Mhm.
I will go crazy. It's like you're there but not there. You know what I mean?
Right?
Uh,
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I will wait.
Soon.
I will
Soon.
wait. So we'll just work. Now I have only one question for you. We're gonna end the show very, very soon. So if I were to ask you, what would be your parting words for our followers?
Oh boy, that's a good one. This is where I just go into my zone. So my parting words would be no matter where you are, no matter what the situation, the current climate is, just stay true to who you are and really, really take this time or take the time, especially when you're struggling, to find the positive, to find the lesson. So sometimes there's struggles and it's really hard to see what is the goodness in this. But I believe there's always, always a lesson. There's always something to be learned. And I think that being true to yourself, and a lot of people, it's a big struggle and it's a lifelong commitment, but really digging deep and figuring out who you are and what you are meant to do in this world is key. Don't get hung up on what you've done or what you haven't done or what you should have done or what you could do. Like, get really focused on what lights you up. And if that happens to help humanity, well, then that's an even better bonus. But I think, yeah, the parting words are be true to you. Try to spread as much light and laughter and joy as possible. And think of it that you are a beacon to other people. So you can choose everything in life. You can choose to sit here and be like, oh, this has been, or you can choose to see things that are amazing and choose like the sunshine and oh my gosh, the neighbors are fantastic and I get to live in this ingratitude, right? It's ingratitude. So I think take the time, be true to yourself, practice self care, practice compassion to others, and live your life to the absolute fullest. We only got this time, so we got to live it up, right? Have fun.
Big time, big time. So it doesn't have to be perfect to
No,
enjoy life.
absolutely.
One of the best things that you said there is be in the moment.
Yes.
It
Yep.
does not matter what it is. Always
Yeah.
find a way to enjoy the moment because
Yeah.
it time will be gone. It'll never come back again.
It,
You
yes.
know.
Yep.
And I think one of the additional thought that I have from what you said is something like, um, you have to create your own happiness too. You know, you have to create it to enjoy it.
Yes.
Am I right
Yes.
when I said that?
Yep.
Does it make sense?
You are,
Yeah.
yeah, spot on. I think we
So
have the
we
power
need to
to
learn
do
to
that. We
enjoy
have,
our own company, not because
yes.
we're not with people, especially this time, right? Not
Yeah.
because I know that,
Yeah.
each and every one of us have our own way of spending time. And some people may want to
Mhm.
have a company all the time. Some people may just be enjoying. But I think so. One of the skills that we need to learn is to enjoy our own company,
Yes,
is to
I
enjoy our own
agree. And I'm
company,
one of those
when you can talk forever, about things with yourself. You can enjoy just reading the book, right? And when the right time comes, then we're back again to like socializing and having fun with people, dancing like how you like it, right? I know that you like dancing. So in the meantime, let's make the most of what we have.
Yes. Well said. I agree.
Yes. So
Thank you so
so I want to thank you. I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts, your story, and of course your mission, which is so important. And what I also would like to thank you about is, for being my guest. And if you have some friends or, anyone who would like to also join this conversation, they're most welcome. You can send them to me. But in the
sounds
meantime, thank you everyone who is watching this episode. I hope that you're able to get something out of what we've just talked about. And if you would like to reach out to Tamiah, Tamiah, can you please share where they can find you?
yeah, we're across personally. I'm on, it's Tamiah Johnston, but Root to Rise Empowerment. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We're all across there. So I'm happy to connect with anyone and everyone. I love connecting.
Yes, so I will be sharing all those links that you mentioned on the bio of this video when it gets published. So
Awesome.
once again, I want to thank everyone for being with us today. And of course, I would love to see you once again next week. And of course, I would like to invite you if you would like to be on my show and become one of my fabulous guests on one with me. And of course, this is about our stories of absolutely fabulous women of today. And for now, I bless you with all my heart. Be happy, stay positive, and most of all, stay safe. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tamaya.
Thank you
And
so
we say
much.
goodbye for now until next time.
Bye, everyone.